In today's video, I'm going to be planting up this larkspur that you see behind me, as well as some orange marmalade, Cassandra, and some cosmos. I'll be working in the west-facing flower bed today. It's expected to be over 90 degrees today, believe it or not. It is going to be a hot one out here, so let's see if we can get these in the ground pretty quickly. I hope you enjoy this video today, and if you do, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Okay, so we're going to be going out into the west flower bed. It gets about a good 6 hours of sunlight, direct sunlight a day. It does get a little bit of shade from the roof line. I do have a 2-story house, but then my garage, which is attached to it, is a 1-story. And the sun does come up, and probably around 2 o'clock is when it gets in full sun, all the way up until about 8 o'clock at night, because our sunlight here, the sun in the summertime, and we're almost to summer, so the sun in the summertime does not really drop down until about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening. So yesterday evening we were outside working, cutting grass at 8 o'clock at night, and so the front west flower bed may not get as much sun in the springtime, but in the summertime it gets a lot of sun. So definitely something to consider, the seasons and the lighting for the season when you're planting things, because even though you may not get that full sun in the spring, come summer you might get hit with full sun, and some things may not like that and some things may need that a lot. So keep that in mind when you're planting things. The things that I'm planting today, the larkspur, the cosmos, and the orange marmalade, they love part sun to full sun, and they can do either or, so that they make great little plantings in these locations. Now the orange marmalade won't live during a freeze, but it will survive down to about 30 degrees, 32, a little under freezing. It can do if you protect it, but anything lower than that, it does pass. So I buy it every year. Let's just say that it's inexpensive enough. I don't mind buying it every year and planting it in these beds as an annual. I have no problem with that. I wouldn't do that for a lot of plants. I definitely don't want to be spending over and over again for the same plants, but this one I don't mind, because I do love the orange flowers, and the green leaves are very glossy, and I'm going to show you that here in a second. Anyway, let's go to the west side bed. Okay, this entire flower bed you could consider west side. However, west is here, and the sun in the summer goes like this. Okay, so this area here in the spring is not full sun, but in the summertime it is full sun. So just this very morning part are these shrubs, shaded out, but then after that it's game on. It's full sun. If you can't handle it, don't come to play. Okay, so this is not where we're going to be planting all of our plants, but I do need to fill in this little area right here with some, and then a little further down. Now don't look too closely, because I still have not finished doing this cleaning this flower bed out. I have a lot of, decluttering to do, because some of these plants just love life way too much. So I have to come back and take care of them. Got to clean up my bird bath and get it level. Look at that. All the heavy rains we've had has again made it not level. And the beast, y'all, the butterfly bush beast, but I love it. Okay, so this is the area that we're actually going to come in. Now, again, turn around slow. That is the west, full on west. So it does get the rays that come this way, and it does hit this area. So this area will get full sun probably from noon on, again in the summertime, until about 8 p.m. at night. So this is where I put the Cleome that the video came up today. And I also put in the Cape Leadwort right there. And that's Imperial Blue. And then I did transplant some Gara. A couple of them have made it, a couple have not, which, hey, that's okay, because I actually don't want a lot of Gara in here. I plan to come back and pull out some anyway. I was just going to leave the one that made it the best, was going to survive. I was going to leave that and pull out all the others, because that Gara is also right there, and it freely seeds. And they're easy to pull out, but it does freely seed, so I'm not looking to have that all over. Anyway, but these do look like they're doing good. They still have yellowing under the leaves. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with some chelated iron and put out here for them, because possibly they may not be taking up some nutrients like they should. So I'm going to come out with some chelated iron. Although they do look like they're perking up, like the new growth is more green down there, so maybe, but it can't hurt them to put some chelated iron down. And then I have some weeds I see growing. I need to get those out. Might also give some to this rose that's planted, because it does not look like its sister rose that's all nice and dark green. This one is much lighter. You know, sometimes when you get too much rain, it really can do a number on your plants, cause them to get a little on the waterlogged side with their leaves. So I've got to come back and take care of that. Anyway, but this is where we're going to be planting. So let's get to it. Let me not take up too much of your time today. I think I now understand why my microphone keeps cutting off and I'm recording and it's not on, and it's because I took a phone call and it shut down because I took too long of a phone call. So I planted one of my Cassandra orange marmalades already, and now I'm moving on to the second one. I'm spacing them 24 inches apart, about 2 feet apart. They grow about 18 to 24 inches, and I do want them to have good airflow, and so I don't want them to be crowded like a hedge. I do want them to be kind of staggered and spaced out, and I'll put like little white vinca or something in between them. But anyway, so I'm spacing mine 24 inches apart. All right, now going back to what I was talking about earlier that I didn't get because my microphone was off. Is that so? Cassandra makes a great house plant. You can pull these plants up in the winter time, or before winter, before it gets down to like 40 degrees, under 40 degrees or so. You can pull them up and bring them inside and overwinter them as a house plant. Just put them in bright light and they will do well. You'll want to mist them once in a while, and that's because they do like humidity. Can't tell yet if the sun strength on these sleeves is changed or not yet. Okay, I do have some biotone in a little cup because the bags are heavy and I don't like, hauling them around. So I do have some biotone. I also have some balanced fertilizer. I think it's a 555, or it's balanced, low and balanced. Okay. And then I have this soil mix. This is peat moss with some humus, some compost, and some regular garden soil. And it's just mixed up in here, this big tub, and then I just mix it into the soil because, again, this soil, it has not been amended and it is heavy clay. And not that these plants couldn't survive, because I've planted them here before without amending the soil, but but I just think that I want to increase the height of this bed, and so I'm going to be working on putting more soil in this area. So I figure that every time I plant something, I'll just add soil to it and gradually raise it up. This is pretty dry. This is what happens if you let the peat dry out what they plant this stuff in, then it's hard to get it moist again. So I'm going to run over and just wet the root ball. Gently. And like here, let me just blast you. And the reason why I do this is because even if you water from above, you really have to water a lot for it to actually soak it up. Once it gets super dry like that, it'll just run right past it. So that's why, when these are in forage containers, they die so fast, because once they lose water, you think you pour some water in, you're good, and it doesn't get in there. So it doesn't get deep into the middle of it. So all right, let's see. Turn you this way. And I'm planting them a little high. Something else that I said when I was planting that one and not recording, or my audio on. Planting it a little high. Again, because I want to raise the bed up. I'll water these in just a second with the hose. This is a big kitty cat litter box that I just converted to use as over there. Converted to use as my soil mixing bucket. Uh-oh. Well, that might ruin that plan. Alright, let's see. Pull some of this grass out. I see ants. That's why I'm like, how much disturbance can I do before they all start feeling the vibrations and coming out of their little hidey holes? So far, just this little area is not showing much anger. Ooh. There's one of those weed vines. Treading lightly here. Don't want to disturb them wherever they might be, because there's not an ant mound that I can see, and they're not normal ants. They're those red stinging fire ants. This oxalis has got to go. Let me see if I can get it. Look at that, I got one of them. Holding on to the bulblet. I don't want them to spread. I think I got it. But there's another one over here. so good. No ants. There's a bulblet right there. Oh, all that's got to go. This little bulblet. It ain't making baby bulblets. That's what I call them. I don't know if that's the right term. They make a little bulb, and then the bulbs make little bulblets, baby bulbs. That's what I call them. And sometimes when you dig them up, they start falling apart. That's why I pull it all up and then I grab them by the bulb. There's another one. A lot of these today. See it? Bulblets too. Another one. Yeah. The whole lump. I have a big chunk of dirt to throw away. They're hard and round. They're very obvious. I think I got them all. Yeah. Others. So far, so good. That's cacti. I'll have to come back and get the rest of the smock salads later. But for now, the stuff that's in my way is gone now. I want to get all this mulch in my hole. The more I go over here, the more I think I'm going to tread into anthill. I don't want these oxalises right here. Okay, back to what we're doing. We're planting stuff, not picking weeds. Doing that, I stumbled across a little bulblet without anything attached to it. They're kind of like a brownish red color, so you can actually see them in the soil if your soil's dark. They show up like bright orangish red. You can find them if you had to. Alright. think a storm is going to come. Yeah. Wasn't in the forecast, but you know how that goes. I don't know if anyone else can relate, but seems like our weather forecasters are always missing the storms. Alright, so now that I've got the orange marmalades planted up, again, their name is Cassandra Orange Marmalade. Now I'm going to do these little Cosmos, and these Cosmos are called Cosmos Casanova Mix. They're short variety, and they grow about 12 to 16 inches tall, and as the same width as well, 12 to 16 inches wide. Definitely need some added aggregate to it. What is that? I don't know where my drip tube is. There's one. Where is the... I guess we'll come across it when we come across it, huh? Can't find it. I just didn't want to put it too close to it. Biotone, plant food, don't move my knee because there's ant right there. Alright, this one's straight up and down, so it's going in the front because it does look the best. Well, actually, I gotta take that back out now because I forgot to flip it around. All that, soil that. Turn it back to me. Yes. That's the direction you should be facing. Stake these. We'll see. Don't flop over. Okay, and then my other one, it's not straight. It's got that bend to it. So I might end up planting it kind of like this in the ground so it comes up. So I'm going to put it in the back here so that it comes forward this way. And then I'll put this. These only have to be 12 inches apart. My little spade is good. But I've got to remove these oxalis here. I've got to remove these oxalis. Oh, and I got to be careful. I see that I have some baby vincas seedlings. I don't want to get rid of those, so let me stay closer over here then. This one's coming from. Hope I got it. Oh, I didn't get it. I think I dug in the wrong spot. Oh well. Is so tiny, but I got it. Alright, let's see, there's some more over here. That I try to dig out, but I there's another one down there. Got it. Teal. Thank goodness for your coloring, or I might miss them all. That's my sprinkler system. Tapping on with the white part, the pipe is under there. Not my drip hose, but the main pipe. Good. Get out of there. this way. That way, well, let's take it that way. That way, it fills in that way, if it falls and leans over. I believe cosmos are the type that they grow towards the sun. So if they flop over, they'll just lay on the ground and then start growing from the side of their stem straight up. So they can look kind of funky. When it's all said and done, they can grow kind of weird, but that is a good thing though, it's not a bad thing. Pollinated to then where the bulbs grow bigger. That is Shirley. I'm not sure of her age, but it doesn't matter to me. If I can be active like she is, oh my gosh. She runs still. She also walks, but she does run. And she's impressive. Yep. All right, let me get to planting this third one and I'll be done. So I know that gardening, and actually, I'm not where I want to be. There we go. That's where I want to be. I know that all of the plants and flowers that I plant, everything I put in my yard, I know that it creates future work for me. I am young enough. I feel that right now it's okay. I know that as I get older, I will not want to be keeping up such a robust and needy garden. But for now, I'm very happy doing this. And when I hear people say that they enjoy walking by my yard because they really enjoy looking at all the plantings that I have, it really does make me joyful because I love bringing joy to people, and I just feel like I want to be a blessing to others, and especially in my neighborhood, I do have a lot of older residents in this neighborhood, a lot of widows especially. A lot of their family moves out of the area. They feel like, Louisiana isn't all that great to live in and raise a family, so they might move out of the area. And then they're alone, and they don't have their family, and so they get lonely. Can't tell. Are you a bad one? Yeah. Anyway, so I kind of feel like by keeping my garden nice and pretty for them and providing an environment that they can enjoy but don't have to maintain. I feel like I'm blessing them. So my yard is not closed to anybody. They can come and sit down and enjoy. If I'm out here, they can stop by. I'll give them a tour of the backyard if they want. You know, I just want people to enjoy their walks around the neighborhood. And now I know this is not for everyone, but I love it. And like I was telling Shirley, I really, really found a lot of peace when COVID first hit, and nobody knew what was going on, you know, and there was a lot of misinformation out there. There was a lot of speculation. There was a lot of fear, and I just didn't want to get caught up in that. I definitely, you know, wanted to keep my peace of mind. My business, my livelihood is in real estate, so my income comes from, you know, people being out and about and, you know, buying homes, selling homes, finding rentals and things like that. So COVID kind of put all that in question, and I could either let my mind go there and dwell upon that, or I could, you know, find something to do with my time that would bring me joy and peace. And when I had never, you know, done landscaping before, never did a garden, never, I think in 2000, maybe 2001, I planted some zinnias and some marigolds, and I didn't put them in the right spot, so the zinnias were in front and the marigolds were in back. It was silly. But anyway, I did that, and it didn't go so well, and so I gave up. Never tried again until 20 years later. So that's my story, and that's why I garden. I love the fact that people find joy. I absolutely love it. I will sweat and suffer out here if it brings a smile to someone's face, or to someone who has been missing their, you know, their family member, or their spouse passed, or, you know, anything that will bring them joy is what makes it all worth it for me. And I can kind of relate. I live far from my parents, and always have, because my husband was military. And we came from California, where it's super unaffordable. Always, it has been since 1995. And never could afford to move back there and raise a family. You already had to have been established there to really make it make sense. They will go this way. Anyway, so I didn't go back to California. We came here because it's very affordable for our family, and we just stayed. And I miss my parents, you know. My kids, you know, we didn't get to see them very often. So my kids kind of miss them too. So I understand when people say that they take pleasure in other people's things because they don't have it, maybe. This one I planted up a little extra high and put my own soil around it, because this little section right here is definitely lower. I could tell when I dug the hole, and so I don't want it to drown. And it's going to flop back like this, I know, but you can already see it's already starting to angle upwards. I have to look up what that word is again. There's a word for this. It's an actual thing. And hopefully it'll start growing this way, but this one's kind of flopped backwards, so I think it'll all fill in right here. So let me water these in. And I did not run into a drip tube. All right, let's get a final look at what we did. So the sun's starting to come out, and so it's going to be hard to see, but here's the 3 Cosmos. Casanova is the variety. That something was crunchy there, but I did not step on a plant. So the 3 Casanovas, and they're a mix. So you're going to have the white, the pinks, the magentas. And then here are the 3 Orange Marmalades. And once the blue, imperial blue leadwort fills in, you'll have the blue, the oranges, and the, well, it says it's magenta, but it's going to be this light lilac color. And then we'll have the white Gara over here. And they look scrawny right now, but I promise as the heat picks up and the rain decreases, all of these will just start coming alive and growing. Earlier, I had a neighbor stop to talk to me, and I didn't realize that I didn't have my microphone plugged into my camera, so it didn't pick up our conversation, which is probably not a bad thing. It's probably fine because I don't know that she'd want her conversation just broadcast over the internet. But she did come to say that she really enjoyed walking by the house, looking at the garden and things like that. And then when I came back from speaking to her, I explained that I do take so much joy in the garden. And for that reason, I really like the fact that she enjoys seeing the garden because she can't do it that anymore in her yard. So anyway, just wanted to add that because that was not heard, and wanted to make sure that I explained that, why I was explaining why I like gardening, because it was all because of the conversation that I had with the neighbor Shirley. Anyway, so that's it for today's video. I got a couple times distracted because of work phone calls, and that's why I didn't have my microphone plugged in at the end, because I had taken it out to take the phone calls. Anyway, I'll be getting me a camera eventually that just for filming and not my phone. But until then, I have to learn how to double check everything, triple check, if right. So I'm very pleased. I can't wait till this fills in and I give you an update. Anyway, until next time, have a good day, y'all. Bye. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please hit that like and subscribe button. Until next time, have a good day.